my biggest month was actually, I think, around 140K, and that was in June, so that was just a month ago.
Fully organically, right?
Fully organically.
That's fucking crazy. What is good, guys? This is Marif. This is the second episode of our podcast where I host young, ambitious people doing big numbers on ecom. Today, my guest is Nix, who has done 140K in 1 month in organic dropshipping, and in total lifetime revenue, he has done 200K. Welcome, Nix. It's a pleasure having you here.
Thanks, bro. Excited to be here, and I'm excited to talk about.
Yeah, we're gonna get into a bunch of interesting stuff. Stay tuned.
What's going on, Marif? How's it going, man? nice to meet you, talk to you.
Yeah. We've known each other with Nix for quite a while, like a few months, but this is actually our first time talking face to face. Tell us your story, like how long you've been doing organic, how old are you, where are you from?
Cool, yeah. So I'm 23 years old. I'm from Ireland, and I've been doing organic since 2024, April. So just over a year now, and I guess, until today, I haven't actually checked my dashboard, but it's sitting right over 200K, across all my kind of lifetime rev. And I've done a lot of kind of business ventures in the past. I've tried a lot of things, and I guess recently now is when I've kind of stuck with organic and decided to kind of stick with this and make this my
For
kind
sure.
of
We'll
money
get
goal.
into all of that. I just want to tell first people how we met. Nix actually was my competitor in one of the products I was running, and it was kind of weird, like in a sense, but he was really helpful, and I was trying to help him out as well. We kind of gave each other a lot of tips, and pages grew pretty well, I'd say. Like both of us, they did pretty well. Usually when it's like against a competitor, you have this kind of animosity, but Nix was cool about it, me too. And it was kind of this natural thing. With this, I want to ask, like, with the 200K you did, how much of it was done in the last few months and how much of it was done like lifetime? Because it's pretty impressive. Most people take years, 2 years, 3 years. For you to do like 200K in just a year is pretty impressive. But how much of it was done in like the last few months or in general?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like a special case in my situation because I'm probably not like many other people. My biggest month was actually, I think, around 140K, and that was in June, so that was just a month ago.
Fully organically, right?
Fully organically.
That's
I've
fucking
never
crazy.
touched ads in my life, so I have no experience in that front. But I did run a couple of products that made money beforehand. I can reveal it because I've stopped
Go
running
ahead.
it, but I ran a pocket rod, like this pocket fishing rod, like
Oh
a
yeah.
year ago now, and I made around 20K with that product. And then in between, I've had a couple other products that made some money. But yeah, like recently, it's been my biggest sort of quarter, my biggest growth. My actual annual goal, like in revenue this year, like I wrote it down on my notepad and stuff at the start of the year, was just 50K. And I kind of surprisingly reached that in like a matter of 2 weeks. So I reached my annual goal in 2 weeks. I was like really, really shocked. And I guess my life kind of changed from there,
Yeah, 140K in a month, like even with ads, everything, that's still fucking crazy. But to do it fully organically, like without touching an ad, just shows the power of like how real this organic dropshipping thing is. Because most people are still doubting it. Like I'm talking to some other e-com guys, more traditional guys. They're like, oh no, like you can't do it fully organically. You need to run some ads. You can't really scale or whatever. But this is crazy because you really have no cost basically other than the product cost, like ordering the product, and that's about it. Like just fulfilling the orders. You don't need to worry about ads. You don't need to fucking worry about not working for 3 days and going under in debt with like the ad campaigns. And it's pretty easy to learn for the beginners as well.
Yeah, with all the margins and stuff, I'd imagine if I was doing ads, like I don't know how I would keep up because I know the ads guys work with like maybe like 10% profit margins,
Bro, your
whereas
account would
organic
probably
is
get banned by now. Like in ads, when you scale it up that much, your ad accounts get taken down. That's like a common issue. It's hard to scale it up that much. But what did you start with before organic, and how long it took you to like actually make your first money online? How did you get into like online money making things? Like in general, I don't know what you started with. Like for example, I started with ads. I did ads, they moved to YouTube Shorts, moved to YouTube long form, did all kinds of bullshit like online selling, sneaker reselling, like all kinds of stuff before I found organic. How was it for you?
I have a similar kind of situation because I've kind of done this my whole life. So I guess when I was a kid, like 14 years old, I did YouTube as any normal kid did back in the day, you know, like gaming videos, whatever. That's kind of where I started with like content creation. Then I tried, you know, freelancing on Fiverr, so like making like logos, graphic designs. I had a
Competing
little
with
bit of
like
success.
Pakistan guys, right? It's fucking the hardest market. Like those guys work.
Yeah, they work really hard,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's a lot of competition.
yeah.
But I made my first money on freelancing, so like I made around 2K, I think, making like logo designs and stuff for streetwear brands. Back in like, you know, COVID times, because everyone was wanting to make a streetwear brand all of a sudden.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, then I've tried everything, honestly. I've even done transcription. So that's like typing out, you know, the words of like video files of, you know, what's being said on a video file, and the pay is terrible. You might get paid like 20 bucks for
When was
three
this,
hours of
bro?
work. Transcription.
Yeah, no, no. When was this?
This was back in like maybe 2017, like a few
Oh
years
yeah,
ago.
makes sense. Makes sense. Right now, these
Well, I
days,
was
like AI does it for like how many 30 seconds or something.
if I knew what I know now back then, I would be mind blown because yeah, like you said, AI just
Yeah,
takes over
exactly. Yeah,
everything. But back
manual
then I
jobs
spent
like
hours trying
that
to
are
do it.
kind of over.
For sure, for sure. And I moved into, you know, more creative things then afterwards. Like I actually did music for a while. So I made a few rap songs, I made a few music
Damn, bro,
videos.
you're kind of versatile. I mean, you've done pretty much everything. Like I thought I did everything, but you're pretty good as well.
Yeah, I guess I had like, you know, my hands in a lot of pies, you know, however
Yeah.
the metaphor goes. So, and then I have a list actually of everything I've done just out of curiosity. I made myself a list so I can just give it a quick look just to kind of reference it. But I've done some like investing, you know, stocks investing, crypto investing, made a tiny bit of money there because it's, you know, it's more of a niche kind of
Yeah, yeah,
business
yeah.
model. And
Especially
then
back in
eventually,
COVID times, right? I
yeah,
did
for
some
sure, for
money
sure.
back then as well with crypto. Like that was actually my first online money. I 10x'd my like money and then fucking lost it all like 6 months
What did
after.
you invest in? What did you, was it
I
like
invested in.
meme
Do
coin?
you remember Dogecoin?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
At Dogecoin, or I don't know how it's pronounced. Like the Elon Musk, before Elon Musk backed it up. Like I bought it at like I don't remember the exact numbers, but I remember it was like 6 cents or maybe even less than that. I bought it just because a friend put me on it. Like it's gonna be big, whatever, whatever. And I bought like I think $300 worth of something, and like a week, or I don't exactly remember how much it was, but a very short time later, it was like 3, 4K, and that was fucking crazy for me back then because I didn't even like think you could actually make money online. That this was back in before even pandemic. I think this was like 2019, maybe.
Damn, yeah. I think I still have money in Dogecoin and it's just like
Yeah, me
minus
too,
like
me too. That's
90%.
still that same money is still there, but it fucking went to trash.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The most I made from investing was I think like 1,000 maybe dollars from Bitcoin. You know, I had like a good kind of week or whatever when it went up, but then I just took
You
it
were
all out
doing
and then I took
like day
and then
trading or long term?
long term mainly because
Yeah.
I'm not very like kind of educated in the whole
Yeah,
day
yeah. Me,
trading
me
thing. I
neither.
never
Yeah.
touched that really myself, but. And then yeah, I found organic dropshipping while I was on Erasmus. So I actually finished college this year, but when I started dropshipping, I was in third year of my college degree, and I moved to Italy to do a semester there. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to classes, and I may as well start doing something with my free time. And I've always had, my eyes on organic dropshipping, but I never really like believed that it was, like there's a whole stigma behind the word dropshipping. Everyone's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
dropshipping this, dropshipping that, like,
Sounds like a scam.
it does. It's kind of like, when you say it out loud, it's like people might think
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like some
yeah.
sort of
For
scammer or
sure, for
something.
sure. Like I meet a lot of new people, like doing other business stuff, like more traditional stuff, whatever. When I tell them I do dropshipping, they're like a bit, like this guy's
Yeah,
fucking scamming people online or some shit. Like they
yeah, it's
get
like the
that.
eyebrows are raised a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah, 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 definitely, for sure.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like most online businesses, real legit businesses, a lot of them actually, use the dropshipping business model. So it's like
Yeah, for
it's not
sure. I
very
mean, yeah,
uncommon.
exactly. Like,
You know what I mean?
where do you guys think Zara makes like their clothes? It's fucking China. It's the same exact thing. It's just
Exactly.
the difference is they mark up the price like 10, 20x. We can only mark it up like 2x. That's the only difference. Like no difference at all.
Yeah. And we're like one guy in like their mom's, in their mom's crib working, but yeah, it's a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
different story.
You
But
were
yeah,
saying
I
what you
started
were in
dropshipping then
Erasmus? Bro, but you know what's
in
interesting to me? How did you first hear about it? Like, did you see on YouTube or what was like the first understanding of organic? Because I did drop shipping for a year before I knew what organic was because it's kind of like a niche uh, it's niche down version of dropshipping. Like not a lot of people know this as like a business model. A lot of people know organic marketing. Like if you do ads on the side, also do organic marketing. But not a lot of people know like fully organic. Like by now they probably do. Like back when I started, not a lot of people did. Like it wasn't a thing for everybody. YouTube.
who did you watch? Who did you get
I
inspired by?
No, no, my story is weird. How I did was, do you remember the BMW slippers?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
was the first guy to bring them to the market. I saw them on like a yeah, I saw them on like a car fan page that had like a lot of followers, but it was an AI post. Like the slippers weren't actually a product back then. And in the comments, everybody was like, "Where can I buy this? Where can I buy this?" Like thousands of comments. I was like, I gotta capitalize on this. And back then, I was like reselling sneakers, I think, doing something like that. I wasn't doing like ads, but I was like, I gotta run ads for this. So I went to Alibaba. I sourced it. It took like 2 months because I didn't know what I was doing. Back and forth 2, 3 months. And by the time I got it, there were already like some people doing it, but not really. Like I still was the first person, but after a week, some people started popping off because it was on AliExpress by that time. But whatever, my point is, I started like by that in that time frame where I've waited like 2, 3 months. I was like, I got to do something. I can't just sit my hands behind my back. So I started filming for it organically to like get an IG page going, so I can run ads. And when they click on the profile in ads, like I was like to make it look more legit. I wasn't posting videos to get views. I was just posting so
Right.
IG looks nice. And then my ad account got banned, and in that time I was still getting sales. I was like, where are these sales coming from? And I remembered I was also posting for YouTube and IG. Like these were the two things. I was and I was making good money. Like I was making, especially for back then, like $300 per day, fully
That's
organic.
good.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing. Like if you looked at my videos, it's complete shit. Like
For your first product?
yeah, for my first product, yeah, yeah. What I was doing was I was scrolling in the car niche, whatever trend video was there, I was just exactly copying that, just adding the slippers. Then one video went viral. I made a lot of money. I was like, I gotta learn how to like repeat this. I typed in on YouTube viral dropshipping. I didn't know organic dropshipping was a thing. I was like viral dropshipping because that made sense. And I watched a few videos. I was like, these guys are doing it full time. I don't remember who I watched. I think it was maybe, I don't remember I don't want to sound racist, but the black guy's name.
Mikey again.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. I watched him and I was like, damn, dude, like people are actually doing this full time. I thought this, I always looked at organic as like an afterthought. Like you run ads and organic is like on the side to make the page look legit, but it's not actually a thing. But you know, it turns out it is a thing. So my turn to organic was completely accidental. I didn't know anybody who did it like around me, and on YouTube I never saw any videos prior to that like organic dropshipping. I always saw ads, I always saw like the traditional ways. How about you?
Yeah, I really like organic because it's like this kind of, you're almost, if you're a business and you do organic dropshipping, even if like that's not your main kind of way to market your products, there's like a whole skill involved to make
Yeah,
your, organic video look like a product video and then be able to make money from that video. And that's what I enjoy. I enjoy like the creative aspect. I enjoy that I don't have to, make very, very like overly obnoxiously salesy videos that are just like buy this, link in bio. It's more like, there's levels to it. You have to be creative. You have to get kind of into the mind of the person who's scrolling so that, your
target
video
audience. Yeah,
fits
100%.
fits into the algorithm and, all this kind of
It
stuff. So,
needs to look organic, like naturally fit into the algorithm. It can't be. I still see a lot of these guys, and it's kind of like mind boggling. It's fucking 2025. Link in bio or 50% off as the hook. Bro, you can't do
nah,
that. I mean,
bro.
people see that as like ads. And what do people do when they see ads? They scroll, they don't watch the video. Like, nobody wants to see ads. What you need to do is like really subtly, like, they shouldn't know like you are selling it unless there's like a CTA or they check the comments. I think those are the best videos for sure.
It's like a little bit of like, mind games. It's like kind of psychology. You have to be a brand, overall you are the brand that sells the product or whatever, but your videos have to be entertaining enough, but also salesy enough to kind of strike the right balance and then get people interested and they're like, okay, I'm gonna buy from this brand.
Yeah, 100%. It's about building a connection and more importantly, like sparking that emotional reaction. Like when they're scrolling, it's completely like it's impulse purchasing at its best. Like people see it, but they're scrolling, your video makes them feel some sort of way, click, buy, boom. Because actually, from my experience, if it takes a little longer than that, if people aren't like that heavily involved emotionally, they usually look it up on Amazon and they just buy it from there. 'Cause it's easy. It's not that hard. Like you need to blind them kind of even like with emotionality. They shouldn't even like understand, this video is funny or this is like romantic, whatever, boom, boom. Then they buy it like that. Like if you give them too much time, if it's not like fully impulse purchase, they see the video, whatever, I'll look it up later. They're not gonna buy from you.
I agree, yeah. And that's why I think a lot of maybe beginner dropshippers in the organic space, that's kind of where they like lack a little bit. Like I understand that it's all an impulse, from the consumer. Um, but there is sort of like a professional kind of standard that the dropshipper should, uphold. Your brand should look like a brand. Your logo should look, professional enough for the person to be like, if they're gonna make this, blind impulse purchase, at least, they can trust your brand, even though it's just
100%.
one person behind it. Your website should look decent enough for the people to be like, okay, I am gonna make this impulse purchase, but I'm not gonna regret, buying it and think like I got scammed or something. It should be like, kind of trustworthy, and you think you're buying from the brand, even though it's just a regular drop shipper.
That's the thing though. You need to like be I think this is like the only way to do it in 2025. If it's not branded, if it's not properly because people aren't dumb. I mean, when they see some scammy ass looking website or your videos are trash, they know you're not the brand. You're just some guy, filming for the product. They look at you like a creator. You know how they look at TikTok shop creators? They know
Yeah.
like you're not the brand. But if your videos are kind of matching with each other, also there's like a general vibe, and you need to uphold like a really high standard to invoke the emotion too, by the way. I mean, if you want to make people impulse purchase, it can't be a shit video. If it's like the same video as you see every day, or some low quality, low effort video, people are not going to impulse purchase. I mean, I think the one mistake most organic dropshippers make, they think people are dumb. I mean, they look at people like, whatever. They need to buy this, like targeting audience. I'm gonna sell to the pregnant niche, so I'm gonna just put like a stolen pregnant stitch hook, and boom, they need to buy it. Like, it's not like that. It's literally like you need to act like as if you actually sold the product. I always think of it as, you ever see those guys on Shark Tank? They're like passionate about their products. They're like this and that. I always think like, you need to kind of be that kind of passionate. Even if you're not that passionate, you need to act like it so you can sell something. What I did for this really interesting thing, and once I did this, my sales blew up. Before, I thought like the average dropshipper, I was like, whatever. We're just selling Chinese bullshit. Like, who cares about the quality? But if you don't care about the quality, if you're not actually providing value, it turns out you don't really make money. So what I did was, my brands all carry my name. I mean, it's in reverse, but they're all like, if you look at it, it's my name written from the back. So that's kind of like
That's
more,
crazy.
yeah, that's like a
That's
pride
crazy.
thing for me, because I put my name in the brand. So I'm like, now I need to do something. Like, it's literally carrying my name. And after I did that, my work quality went up really good.
Because then you're like personally sort of
Yeah,
attached to it.
exactly. Yeah.
I know you probably shouldn't get attached to your product, but to an extent, you should have the passion and the belief that this is your product, this is
No,
your
no,
brand.
it's not
and this
about
is...
like, it's not about attaching to the product. It's about, once you know like this product has potential, you go all in. I don't do this for like every product. Once I know it has like some potential, and I'm gonna go all in. Like, some people are making money. There's like a proof of concept. I'm like, I'm gonna do the best job in the market, because otherwise you don't survive. You either gotta be the best, or you're gonna pick up the scraps. So I do this when I have like a proof of concept, and I think it's like already like a winning product.
For sure, for sure.
You were talking about how you started organic. I still didn't get that part. Like, where did you find out about organic?
So yeah, just bring it back. It was actually Mikey again as well.
Yeah,
The same
randomly on
dude,
YouTube.
randomly on YouTube. Um, over the years, I had seen other creators like Bia Heza, Michael Bernstein. I guess he's the OG kind of organic coach or whatever. But then Mikey again was just purely inspiring, because he showed his whole come up and his whole journey. He had like a year where he had no success, and it was very inspiring. So I was like, okay, I've done content creation. I'm sitting here in my university kind of apartment or whatever. So let me start filming videos, and I just started. I went for it, and as you might expect, my first product was absolutely terrible. For whatever reason, I didn't know about any of these methods, like the burner method or anything for finding good products. So my first product was literally a power adapter, like the plug you plug into the socket, but it was like a universal one. So you could have like a UK plug, a US plug,
Ah,
or
yeah, I've seen
Australian
that
plug.
product. Yeah.
Um,
Where
my
did you find
videos are
that from?
okay.
Like Amazon Home Finds or something?
Yeah, like I think even AliExpress even. I kind of
Yeah,
just scrolled, and
yeah,
I I made the biggest mistake as a beginner basically.
yeah.
And over that time in Italy, I ran about 4 or 5 products, and I made money from only one of them, which was this book holder. So it's like this little book, like wooden thing that you put on your thumb while holding a book. And I made like 5 sales on it, and it was like a really low perceived product. I made like $30 maybe most, and that was my time in Italy when I first started.
For how many months?
I was there for 5 months, and then
So
I came
for
back,
5 months,
and
you pretty much didn't make any money, right?
pretty much, yeah.
That's the
Um,
thing. That's the thing. I always tell people this, like they, and I have some students in my mentorship. I have some friends who come up to me who want to learn it. They're all like all have the same wrong mindset. They're like they think if I work 3 months, because it's more like a traditional way of thinking. If I work 3 months, my income is gonna go like linearly the same line. Like if I work 3 months,
no.
3 grand, 4 months, 6 grand or whatever. But it's like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 for months. Then you kind of get the boost. Like
You
then
know,
actually we can say you made 200K in like a few months basically because first few months you didn't make any money.
yeah, if I was to put like a more like a specific time frame on it, it would probably be, like maybe 8 months in which I made that money.
Yeah.
Because for the first like 5 to 6 months, it was just like, you know, change. It wasn't anything like significant. But then you brought up the thing about how people kind of give up early. And funnily enough, like before this recent product blew up for me, I was rethinking it because I had been doing organic dropshipping for like almost a year now at this stage. The most I had made was from that fishing rod product that was like 20K or whatever. But all of my products since at that time period kind of died down. So I was like thinking, oh man, is this gonna work? And I was talking to my like parents and stuff, and I was saying like, all right, I'm making like maximum $200 a week right now. I'm not working. I'm about to finish college, and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do? And I told my parents that I'll stick with organic dropshipping, stick with what I'm doing until the end of this year, and if it doesn't work, then I'll give up and I'll try something else. And lo and behold, like I think a month later, basically, is when this product basically took off and kind of just changed my whole perspective. My annual goal was blown out the water. Everything changed, just you could say like one product basically changed the whole kind of
Trajectory of your
trajectory of
life.
my
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly,
that's what I was
exactly,
gonna
yeah.
say. Yeah, the funny thing is that was like your story is like almost identical to mine. Like with the BMW slippers, I made around 15K, 15, 20K, something like that. And that was my first ever
Hmm.
product organically. So I had this kind of like an ego thing going of like, my first product is a winner. These guys are fucking losers. I don't need to do like product research or whatever. I was
Yeah,
running
yeah.
like bullshit products for months, bro. I mean, I was running all kinds of shit. And you know what I was doing? And I see a lot of people fall into this mistake as well. I was running products just because they're not saturated. Like
Right.
untapped products, but the reason they're untapped is not because like you're some genius who found it. The reason they're untapped is because they're shit. And that's like for the most beginners, that's the thing. You need to run products with proof of concept, but whatever, that's beside the point. And
Hmm.
I made some like a few thousand here and there, but until like May, I had like literally nothing going on, and I was rethinking my decisions. And I'm gonna focus entirely on providing value, not no on nothing on outcome, fully on action. And it turns out like when you do that, it doesn't take long to be successful because when you're focused too much on the outcome, it affects your actions. Like when you're too worried about making money, this month I need to hit this goal, whatever, you're not actually focusing on the work. And that's the great thing about setting not goals but deadlines for yourself. Like until the end of this year, I'm gonna do 8 hours of work every single day. I don't care about the result. Like if it doesn't work out, I'm just gonna move to something else. And when you do that, it works. It's a great mindset.
I was in a Discord kind of community, and I still am, um, from this guy Adam Griffin. He does paid ads, and he's very inspirational because he said this kind of quote that really resonated with me, and it was sort of similar to what you were saying about um, not the outcome but the journey. And the quote was something like, the work you put in today might only show or manifest in 2 weeks. So like if you work today and nothing changes,
Yeah.
that's okay because maybe in 2 weeks that work you put in today will change. So that's kind of how you have to think. You have to be like, like you were saying, work on the journey. Even if you're not making money, still work on the journey and enjoy the process of working, because that's what I do. I enjoy working. I'm like low-key kind of obsessed with what I do because I do it every day. And that's how you have to be. You have to be slightly obsessed. And even like recently, from my experience of making money now, I've come to a stage where, because I'm making money every day, I don't even care about the outcome anymore. I don't even care about the result that I get on that day. If it's a 1K day, if it's a $20 day, I realize that, I still have to put in the work no matter what. And I still have to, continue and, just enjoy the journey, because you'll make money, you'll lose money, but like, that's just how it operates. That's just how it
Part of the
naturally
game.
goes. Part of the game.
And the thing is, when you tie your confidence and your work quality to outcome, even if you're getting like good results, that's still bad, because you're gonna start chilling. You're gonna be like, yeah, I'm getting the results, that's good enough, whatever. And that's still bad. I mean, even if you're getting the good results, you still shouldn't focus on the outcome. It's like, for me these days, making money, results are good. I'm glad they're there, but I wouldn't really, I don't think about money first thing in the morning. I think about like, how can I provide value? How can I improve my work? And ever since I've been doing that, it's kind of crazy how much I've improved.
I think that's the only way, because once you get kind of obsessed with it, you're focusing just on the wrong things, If you check your dashboard every morning and you're like, "Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
I didn't make a sale today." You're not doing it for the right reason.
Yeah, exactly. Like, people think, and this is kind of like more of a deep thought, but I'm not going to go into too much. But people think they're chasing like the material things. Like, I'm gonna, let's say, buy like an expensive car or whatever, but they're actually chasing the feeling they're gonna get from that, like the feeling of status, whatever. And those feelings are inside you anyways, man. I mean, you can still feel successful just because you're working hard, even if you're not making the money yet. And when you do that, money comes. If you like, some people are like, if I don't make 5K this month, I'm gonna fucking, I'm a piece of shit. I'm not gonna do anything, whatever. But then they make that money and they feel like, still something is missing. And then they're next to the next thing. I gotta make 10K, I gotta make 15K. And then I'll feel okay. And they're like torturing themselves for no fucking reason, because the results are not up to you. It's outcome things. Like, it's outward, different factors affected. All you can do is put in the best work. If you put in the best work, and this is what I tell to all my students, all the beginners, just focus on the work. Like, imagine it as if you're a fucking slave. Like, you have to work. Like, you're not gonna get money. Like, even if you get some money, they're gonna take it away from you. Just imagine that. Like, you
That's a
got some
crazy
tax debt.
metaphor.
Yeah, yeah. That's like a fucking great 5-star mentorship right there. Yeah, and when you do that, but honestly, like, all jokes aside, when you do that, everything comes. Just don't focus on the results too much. But in this note, what are you doing these days for scaling? What is your future plans? Like, where do you see yourself going in a few months or even years? I don't know how far you're planning ahead.
At the moment, my plan is basically reaching until the end of this year. So over, Q4, which is like where a lot of people and a lot of businesses make most of their money.
Yeah.
So I'm very much focused on that, and I am focused on scaling the current product that I have. So recently, for the last month, I've been working with the creator. I've known this guy for a while, so it was very easy to get in contact with him. He actually reached out to me, so we had a chat, and then basically he became the creator for this product. And my day-to-day work basically is just like talk to the creator, discuss all our ideas, and other than that, I'm kind of like working on the back end, threading the needle kind of activities, like keeping, managing my accounts, responding to emails, this kind of thing. And I let my creator kind of take hold of all the videos and stuff. And then in the far future, I guess, the next best thing is to kind of go into ads. But like I said before, I have no experience with ads, so I don't know how confident I am in doing that exactly. But at the moment, I'm very happy with being in organic because I enjoy doing it. I like the whole process, and I like, most importantly, the profit margins. So that's kind of my plan for the time
Sounds
being.
good, man. I mean, you got to figure it down. I think you are a very bright guy. You got a great future because you're focusing on the right things and especially your content. I mean, we can't show it here, unfortunately, but your content is really top notch quality and that's really good. I mean, for organic, the best skill set you can have is basically the best content and you got it all down. So I'm sure you'll do like very good in the future.
So a lot of people, right? So I've noticed for this recent product of mine and yours as well, a lot of competitors actually surprisingly have started to drop the product, which is crazy because some of their accounts are actually bigger than my accounts or possibly bigger than your accounts. And I've noticed that they're dropping this product even though it makes money, and I think the reason for that might be because they don't have enough platforms that kind of help their brand and help them make money. So some of these big creators that are, they have like maybe 100,000 followers on Instagram, 200,000 followers on Instagram, but I haven't seen them post actually recently. So I'm like thinking, okay, why is that? I'm here, my accounts are much smaller, but I'm still making money with this product. So why did they drop this product? And I'm thinking the reason for that would be because in my particular case, I have a lot of different, um, platforms basically working together. So luckily for this product, I was actually able to get all platforms to do a little bit of work. So Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook actually, all of them get
Yeah,
views,
that's
which I
crazy.
think
I
is
mean, I've
super,
never seen
super
somebody
important.
make as good views on Facebook as you.
I think I kind of got a little bit lucky, but there was like some strategy involved with Facebook because I had four other products on that page, and then this latest product kind of started
It takes
generating
off
views
really late. I mean, I didn't get
for
into
sure.
Facebook until a few months ago. I have one account that's kind of okay, but the crazy thing is, looking back on the views, for the first like a month, 2 months, literally no views, like zero, 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 zero. Then it picks up a little bit, and as I'm seeing it, it's kind of like getting better every week. I don't know how it will end up, but what I'm seeing is kind of like very unique to Facebook. I've never seen any other platform work like this.
Yeah, and my point with that whole thing was actually that a lot of people, like a lot of people who test products, they might only still be so focused on, like, let's say only TikTok. They only test the product on TikTok and it flops, or
For
maybe they got a
sure.
bunch of
Yeah, yeah,
views,
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
but then they don't make any sales. And it's like, obviously, because in my opinion, TikTok in 2025 is a terrible organic dropshipping platform. And I
exactly.
think you need all platforms to do work if you really want to make good money. So just focus on all platforms,
What I
get all
would say
platforms to
is
do
like
work.
if you're gonna cut off one platform, cut off fucking TikTok. It's literally the worst converting platform right now because of TikTok Shop. Because in general, TikTok audience is not what you want because like they're it's kind of like the audience that's more brain dead in the sense like I still see a lot of products, new products popping off on TikTok. Every comment is like, "Where can I get this?" Bro, it's in the link in bio. It's 2025. Like, how the fuck do you not know where? And they're not like saying this just to say something. They literally don't know because I know this from my own past brands. If you don't reply to those comments, if you don't make a clear CTA, you convert zero on TikTok. People literally don't know like how to click a link in bio. But moreover, when you click a link in bio, TikTok Shop gives these warnings like you're leading to an
They
external
do.
website, whatever, whatever. So it kills the conversions. And in general, it's so weird. As you said, I'm still seeing these guys on TikTok. They're still only running on TikTok. Like literally, you go, guy has no IG page. Like it's crazy. TikTok is like maybe 5% of the entire revenue at best, probably even lower.
Do you want to know something funny with my product right now? TikTok, I have I have thousands of followers on TikTok for this product, like 30K, and on average I get like 5 sessions per day from TikTok. So basically no sales from TikTok, even though I have millions of views and thousands of followers. And even with different products as well, I have examples where I blow up a product, it gets like 20K followers, and I make like 10 sales max, and which is just, it's mind blowing how terrible
Exactly.
that
Like
is.
this is one of the reasons a lot of people give up. They think organic is all because they used to call it like TikTok organic dropshipping, which back in the day, I guess it was working, but I never did organic back then, so I can't tell for sure. But in 2025, and actually not even 2025, it's been dead for years. Like when I started, it wasn't converting. Like I know it hasn't converted for a very long time. It's not the platform to run. But in saying that, it's still wrong to like use only IG, no Facebook, no YouTube, because you're still splitting your rev for no reason.
Yeah, the moral of the story is just stop doing
Post
TikTok, bro.
everywhere and fuck TikTok. Yeah, that's the
Fuck TikTok.
moral of the story, basically. And also, the thing about TikTok is like, I'm gonna go on a little rant. When you get a big account on IG, you're chilling, right? Because you did the hard work, you got viral videos, and now whatever you post, IG shows to your audience and shows to new people. Because you're a big account, that makes sense. Like it's on YouTube. If you got a lot of subscribers, now more people see your video. That's like a natural way, right? On TikTok, you get like 100K followers. If your video isn't completely original, you get like 2K views. It's like literally, where are those 100,000 people? Like, were they even recommended this video? No, because people don't scroll on following page on TikTok. They only scroll on For You page. And TikTok doesn't recommend unless it's like completely original content. It's completely
You might
dead.
get like you might get like 2,000 views on one video and like 2 million views on one video on
And the
TikTok,
next
and it's
video
all
again,
random.
200 views. I mean, TikTok is kind of a dead platform, but I would say, in saying all of this, it's the best platform for doing research in general, like product research, content research. I think TikTok is the best platform by far, for sure.
I agree with you. Yeah, I still use it for product research, for burner method, all of that, but not as much for actually, generating sales.
And it's good for seeing the trends before they move over to Instagram, because there's like a lagging time in between. If you see a product popping off on TikTok, you check it, it's probably hasn't popped off on IG yet. For most, it's like that. Or you can do your product research on TikTok Shop, bring over products from TikTok Shop to organic, all kinds of stuff. But posting on TikTok and making money from solely TikTok is really a terrible strategy. I mean, I recommend nobody to do that. And accounts are very unreliable as well. They get banned easily, whatever.
I like to stay fairly active. I think, if you're gonna be making dropshipping videos and you're stuck in your bedroom all day, you're doing like 10-hour work days, I think it's good to have a mental break. So like go to the gym, do other things as well. So like for me, I'm sort of a person who likes to balance life a lot, and I read. I started reading like the most boring book imaginable, maybe from your perspective. I started reading a book on taxes. That's how like
Yeah.
that's how like kind of varied my hobbies are and stuff. But I think it's important to have a mixed lifestyle, so that when your day is kind of made up of different things, you can place all that energy in organic dropshipping, in making your videos, in doing your product research a whole lot better, and all that energy will just flow more naturally. You'll have a much better time, in terms of mindset. You'll feel more fulfilled. You'll feel like you're actually, doing something productive, instead of just working mindlessly, doing the burner method for like 6 hours straight, and it's like you're not being productive at that stage. That's not called work. That's just being, brain dead scrolling, for that example. So balance your day to day. That's kind of my advice. That's what I like to do personally. What
And
about you, bro? Like, what's your daily routine like?
bro, I'm right now in Koh Samui, and it's been pretty fucking great because for a while I lived in big cities, so in those cities you lose time to traffic. Like whatever you do, you go to the gym, it turns into like a 3 hour thing. And when you wake up again, if you gotta go work, and I like leaving the house to work. Actually, I never work home because I
Yeah.
think evolutionarily, like we're kind of wired to the idea of going out to get money, going out to do the work. I realize like whenever I stay home in the morning, I don't do the work. I just end up like getting distracted because your bed is right there. You can do whatever. It's like your comfort zone to the max. When you're turning the pressure on, like going to like a working space or going to like a coffee shop or doing whatever, going outside, you're now in the mode to do the work. So that's like a one thing that really changed it all for me. But what I do is I straight up, as soon as I wake up, wash my face, whatever, take a shower, go straight into work, go out, go somewhere, go straight into work for 5 hours, 6 hours. I don't eat breakfast until like pretty much lunch time. Yeah, I don't eat breakfast at
Same for
all.
me.
You
Same.
too? But
Yeah,
this is
bro.
weird. Like any guy who's done good numbers on ecom, I've talked to literally don't eat breakfast. I don't know if there's like a fucking syndrome or phenomenon for
And that,
this,
that's
but
the key to success. You got to
yeah,
skip breakfast.
yeah, for sure. I mean, if you eat breakfast, you're breaking the momentum, I think. Like, it's not the time to eat, bro. And also, this is based on evolution as well, I think. Like, in the caves, people needed to go hunt to get the food. They didn't, like, wake up and, start eating. You need to get the food first to eat. And that's, again, in the hunting mode, puts your brain. My brain is working at like very high RPMs when I'm fully hungry, like when I'm really hungry. So I try to fast until like 4 p.m. even maybe. I do like the most important things, and that's another important thing. I think you'll agree. What do you know about the 20/80 rule?
Is that like doing the most important work at the start of the day?
Yeah, it's
Something like
like
that.
20% of the work you do causes the 80% of the results, and 80% of the work you do causes the 20% of the results. So basically, it's saying
Right.
is like do the most important work, and you can just cut out the bullshit. Like for organic, I found out that to be like just doing product research and posting. That's it. Like don't worry about people worry about building the best website or uh, scrolling on the burner for 6 hours or whatever. Just do the product research on the viral thing. If you really need it, do it more. Like just film and post, and that's it. Like I found that to be the perfect thing, especially filming and posting. Like that's the great thing because that's the needle moving part.
Yeah,
So
it's like the deep work, the short bursts of work are responsible for more of
exactly,
the
yeah.
outcomes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because the thing is, if you spend your time doing the wrong, and a lot of people do this, people are like their product is not working. It's literally not a winning product, and they're still, trying to film for it every day and doing like it's clearly dead, bro. You need to find a new product, and at that time, your priority should be totally product research. But then again, when you find a product, now your priority is filming and scaling, like creating the best content, not the website. Like a lot of people worry about the website before they have even gone viral. Why are you worried about the website? Like nobody's gonna fucking see your website other than somebody you show it to because nobody knows your page. Why are you worried about that? And also, one more thing. A lot of people, and I'm seeing these patterns in a lot of new people because I have a lot of new students in my mentorship. So it's like common thing. A lot of people watch YouTube videos and they think they're being like productive. They're watching some dropshipping videos or whatever, and they're like, yeah, I was working. I'm like, what the fuck were you doing in between those 3 hours? And they're like, I was doing research on YouTube on dropshipping, and that's complete bullshit. Like, you shouldn't watch YouTube videos. I mean, this is maybe like shooting myself in the foot by saying this or whatever, but if you're not actually changing anything like directly, like let's say I've watched a video and immediately my video quality is changed because it's like a clear step to step. You're just watching videos that YouTube recommends, even if it's completely about organic dropshipping, I still think it's not good, especially in the morning. Like you can do that shit maybe in your free time, if you got a lot of free time at night. But in the morning, I think it should be like solely needle moving work. Like literally, if you did this and did nothing else, would you be okay? And that's what I do.
Yeah, I agree with that actually because with I think the only way you can actually justify watching YouTube videos about business or organic dropshipping, for example, is if you're like if you watch a video or whatever and you like take notes and
Yeah.
actually focus on the actual videos or whatever. But at a certain stage, I've noticed personally, you watch enough of these videos on organic dropshipping or whatever that all of the information just eventually becomes regurgitated. It's just like
A
looping
hundred
over and
percent. A
over.
hundred
So you're
percent.
not actually learning anything at a certain level. And at that point, when you realize you're at that stage, is when you have to, put all your knowledge and actually start doing the thing instead of just watching it,
Bro,
you know?
exactly. I mean, you can read all day about swimming, but if you don't go swimming, like,
Yeah,
what? How the fuck do
perfect.
you
Great
expect to
example.
perform? Like, people say to me, new complete beginners, how can I get better at editing? Is there like a video I can watch? I'm like, bro, edit. Like, just edit every single day. Like, do it like over and over and over again until to the point you get to the point where you don't even like look at the video properly, and you can edit like one eye closed. Just do it. Like, do it every single day. And that's the thing for everything. Like, people are like, I can't pick good products, my products are shit. Then test more products. I mean, just try to learn from your mistakes. People are like, they trying to pick the things that they're not going to make any mistakes. Like, they want to do the thing that's perfect, like only for the perfection. They're not shooting their shot. They're like, this product might fail, this video idea might not work, I don't know how to edit, I need to watch a YouTube video. And that's all excuses I'm hearing. Like, whenever I'm trying to teach somebody something, I'm like, just do it. Like, don't ask me any questions. This is the fundamentals, like, you need to know, and that's it. Like, don't watch any other YouTube videos, just do it. That's the same.
And even with this example, like I'm sure you know already as well, if you are sparring someone, you can't just keep sparring the guy who's less experienced than you.
Yeah,
Eventually, you have to start fighting the guys who are like more experienced. They're gonna beat your ass. It's gonna hurt, it's gonna be
it's the same
painful,
thing. It's a cycle.
but that's how you learn.
That's how you learn. That's how you improve. It's an endless cycle. It's like there's no chilling. Like, most people think, yeah, I'm gonna make $1 million. I'm gonna make a few 100,000. Then I'm just gonna go chill. I'm just gonna go on vacations and do the thing. That's the wrong mindset. Like, there is no chilling. Like, this is the lifestyle. Like, you're not doing it for results, but doing it for the improvement. It's called kaizen in Japanese. It's like improving 1% every single day, and over time it compounds. You look back, you're like, damn, like, I did all that. I was the guy who did all that.
No pain, no gain.
Yeah, bro, this is kind of like a turning into like a fucking full-on
Self-help.
testosterone podcast.
All we're missing is the cigar and the sunglasses.
Yeah, like in Thailand, you can't smoke indoors. It's banned. So
Oh
that's the
shit,
only
really?
reason I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I will say like I've really enjoyed our conversation here today as well because I don't often get to talk to many people who kind of share the same experiences as me and stuff like that. And with your like situation, it's cool to see you're living out there. That's sort of where I would like to be as well. So it's just cool, kind of exchanging our like
Yeah, yeah,
our
for sure,
experiences
man.
like this. I find that very valuable.
It was a pleasure having Nix here. We talked about a lot of different things. The flow might have been a little hard to catch up with, a little hectic or whatever, but this was totally off the cuff, and I think the information that we both shared are incredibly valuable if you actually implement them, try to do what is being said in the video. You can always contact Nix through his IG that I'm going to leave the link in bio. And is there anything you want to add?
Nah, bro. Thanks for having me on. It was this is my first podcast actually, so I had a great experience chatting with you. And like I said before, like it was really cool sharing our experiences.
Yeah, it was a pleasure having you, brother. And you guys can contact me as well through my IG. And see you guys on the next one.